Good afternoon, everyone. Just first to say thank you for taking time of your day. Watch this video. We're going to be talking today about some different annuity sales concepts. First of all, I just want to introduce myself. My name's Laura Johnson. I've been working here at IMES for about 13 years altogether, but am one of the team leads here on the annuity side. So really excited to have you with us today. We're going to go through a couple different concepts. We're going to look at a few things in regards to the Secure Act and some of the changes that took place. We're going to look at a product that allows for a lot of different strategies that can be done with it, kind of when we're looking at bucket planning. We're going to talk about increasing income today, really important thing that I think is a little undereducated on. So really excited to talk to you about that. And then we're going to wrap up and look at some of the volatility control indexes that are doing well in the industry and some of the new ones that have been introduced. So with that, I'm going to start off by talking a little bit about the Secure Act. As you all know, there's been some changes into the way we can do business, especially when we're talking about stretch IRAs. So with the Secure Act, I mean, and if you've been in the industry for any time, you know a good chunk of the business and estate planning that goes on was because we could stretch an IRA or non-qualified account, stretch those taxes out for the heirs over their life expectancy. And unfortunately now, with the new rules, we do have to have those paid out now over 10 years. So when this all was announced, most carriers took the very conservative approach and said, we won't take the business. So we've really been struggling and working to get some carriers up on board, taking them now. So we're going to now take a look at a couple of the carriers. So when it comes to a stretch IRA, if it's a non-spouse, we do have very limited options on where we can do this business. Several of these, as you can see on the screen, are some MIGA carriers. We've got Upstream, we've got Ocean View, Atlantic Coast Life, but we do have a couple indexing options as well. North American, Lincoln Financial, Great American, and Bright House will accept a stretch IRA. Now, there are some limitations as far as age and which products can be used. So if you are working on a stretch IRA product or case or need some help with it, don't hesitate to give the office a call. We'd love to help you do this case design, but we do have options. That's the good news, is it's not dead in the water completely. So we do have options and are able to still place that business with some carriers. For non-qualified stretches, we do have some options as well. It's a little more limited, most the same carriers. But again, the products are limited and there are some age guidelines with a couple of the carriers, and very much so with the products that we choose with the carriers. Not all products are available. And these are for people who had died in 2020 or later. If we're looking at 2019, there may be some other options, or if the death was a long time ago and it's already in an inherited account, there could be some exceptions to that rule. Now, with the Secure Act, there were a couple exceptions, obviously surviving spouses. So most carriers will take it if it is the surviving spouse. But again, make sure you run that case through our marketing team just to make sure. I know Global Atlantic, for example, will take it also if the person who's inheriting money is no more than 10 years younger than the deceased. So if we're within 10 years of each other, there might be some options other than the first ones we saw as well. So I know it's a big part of our industry doing these stretch accounts. And so know that you do have options. Just be very careful. Give us a call before you present anything to the client, just to make sure that we can make sure you got all the correct forms and everything for that as well. Now I want to talk a little bit about the Athene Agility product. Matt Campbell is going to be joining us from Athene, going to be doing a presentation later on in this kickoff meeting, and we'll probably share some similar thoughts, but wanted to really talk about this product and the flexibility. When we're looking at annuities, you know, a lot of it goes into a lot of case design and really strategizing, whether it be funding a life insurance policy or making sure that clients don't run out of assets. A lot of us have probably heard about what we call the bucket strategy. So looking at what portion of money we're going to use to fund, you know, pay for our retirement now. We're going to look at how the product, and this product will be able to do all three buckets. We could put a portion in agility for now, some for that we want to take soon, and then we could also use the product for something for a later asset as well. So it's a really flexible product. And I think the key to the flexibility of this product is the fact that it has 10% of initial premium or accumulated value. I think that's a really important key as we're looking at this product, because you can predict what you take out of this product. And I'm going to show you three different case designs that I put together, illustrating kind of the now, money soon, and money later concepts. So for those clients who maybe want to put money away here, and take money out of this for the first 5 years maybe, and then we've got a second investment portfolio down the way that we're going to be using for the middle time and the later time. So on this illustration, what I did is I put $300,000, small portion of, maybe we got $1 million total for this client, but we put $300,000 away. That's going to help pay for some of their living expenses, their retirement now. As you can see, I showed $30,000 coming out for 5 years, and then I just shut it off. The nice thing about this product is not only does it have the flexibility for initial premium or for free withdrawals, but also it's got a lot of other options. There's a couple features I want to mention. We've got this benefit base here. We're going to look, there's a couple features with this benefit base that are really unique. Number one, this can be used to determine a lifetime income after 10 years, which we'll look at here in a few minutes. But this also can be used as a death benefit over a 5-year period. So being able to utilize this asset, get us the money we need now before our other investment kicks in, and still letting this grow and have potential protection for the beneficiaries down the way. So again, and I use this product also similar situation. Maybe I'm doing a 7-pay or a 10-pay into life insurance. I can tell this product what I want to take out every year. Because when you're doing 10% of accumulated value, if I put $100,000 in and I take $10,000 out in year 1, but then don't earn any interest, well, now I've only got 90,000 left. In most products, when it's accumulated value, well, now my free withdrawal privilege is only 9,000 instead of 10. Being that this one is of initial premium, it allows us to take that set amount out each year. So this is a good example of taking some money now and leaving the asset to grow and kind of refill the bucket for a later time as well. Now let's look at if we're looking for money soon. Let's just say 5 to 7 years. This is a really great opportunity because we put the money here, we just let it sit, we're going to let it grow. But then in 5 years, we want to get some money coming out of this. So what I did on this illustration is I showed, we put 500,000 in this second bucket, right? And what I did is I showed 50,000 coming out years from 65 to age 70, and then I turned on the income rider. So I can give them a guaranteed 50,000 each year, but then after that, we're going to activate the lifetime income. This product is also unique that it has increasing income. So not only did we get the 50,000, and yeah, our income hypothetically starts a little lower, but after 4, 5, 7 years, whatever, we catch up to it and we kind of refill the bucket again. So again, it could be for money right away. It can be used for money down, 5 to 7 years. Or the third way we can look at it is this could be that asset for money later. Put the money there, just don't touch it. And in 10 years, look what we can do. Hypothetically, putting 500,000 in this one, we wait 10 years and then turn on the income. We've now started an income, and this is assuming a pretty conservative rate, 4.6%. Guaranteed income after 10 years, 60,000. So, and then as you can see on the illustration on the screen, it does go up from there. So, really great opportunity to do a lot of different things with this product. So, with that, I'm going to go into my next little concept here, which I love talking about increasing income. I think it's something that's not talked about enough, and I think it's something that's really important. And why people ask why so important? Well, inflation is a problem that has started a long time ago, and I'll tell you now, I hate to break it to you, but it's not going anywhere. Inflation is going to consistently be something we're dealing with, something that we need to fight against. And so I really believe that increasing income is a great opportunity for inflation protection. Now, I'm just looking at one product. We've got a ton of products now available that do have increasing income options, and we'll talk about some of the features, but this is probably one of my favorites to talk about because it's very unique in many ways. If you've looked at any, and we're going to talk about payout percentages a couple times here throughout this little segment, but payout percentages are so important. You can have the biggest bonus and the biggest roll up, but if the payout percentage isn't there, you're not competitive when it comes to income. I think that's really important to think about, because a lot of times you could have like a 4% roll up and a really high or payout percentage and beat that big bonus product. So you really got to be mindful of payout percentages. But if you're looking in the increasing income field, you'll see that most of the products that have increasing income make you take a cut for your payout percentages. So maybe at 65, if you do level income, you're getting 5%. But if you do increasing income, maybe your payout percentage is 4%. So that is a big disadvantage on that front. Sorry for that. So with this, what we're going to do is we're going to look at AIG's Power Select Plus Income Multiplier. This is a single premium product. Issue ages on it are from age 50 to 78. The minimum premium on the product is $25,000. But what's really awesome is you can start income on this product 30 days after issue. So being able to do that 30 days after issue, we can issue the policy and here we go. Let's start taking income. So we can provide that immediate income. And we're going to go back to that here in just a second. It does have a fee, a 1.1 rider fee. It does work for both qualified and non-qualified money. And it does work for both single and joint. So even on qualified money, this product will work to pay a spouse as a joint payout. So the way you would set that up, money obviously has to move like to like. So it's going from John Smith to John Smith, but we can add Sally Smith as a joint payout for the income rider, which is really unique. And it's really awesome that we can do that. So like I said, you can take income on this after 30 days. So I get a lot of calls all the time from agents who say, hey, I want to see a SPIA. My client needs immediate income. And I actually ran a scenario just this week where this product actually does better right out the gate than a SPIA did. SPIA rates are really low right now. So having an option where you can go into an indexed annuity, that gives a lot of great features. So number one, with a SPIA versus an indexed annuity, with a SPIA, you're signing on the dotted line your destiny. It is what it is, and it's never going to change. And you have no control. What if we can provide a better income and give the client complete control of their assets? Not only that, but give them the opportunity to keep up with inflation. Oh, and just as a bonus, you make more commission as well. So a win for the client, win for you. I think it's a pretty good story to tell. So with this product, the way it works is that during deferral, any interest that's earned, you're going to multiply it times 2. So on the screen, you can see the example, 5% interest earned today, and I'm not turning income on for 1 year. That would mean my benefit base would go up by 10%. Now, once you turn on income, we match. So for when I use this product most is when people want income years 1 through 3, I think is really the time to shine. And once you turn on income, it matches interest. So we'll look at an illustration here in a minute where you can kind of see this. But 5% interest earned equals a 5% increase in your income. And we're going to look at some examples here. This next slide is probably one of my favorites. It's actually in their brochure. I think it's pictures always tell the story a lot better for me. I don't know about you, but it does for me. And I think it does for clients too. So I think a lot of agents shy away from increasing income due to it's a little bit more complex. So with this, the picture tells it all. I really like this screen or this picture for that. So if you look at this, we're going to start on the far left side. We're 62 years old, and it looks like we're going to defer for about 5 years. In that first year, you'll see at the bottom, it shows a 3% interest was earned in year 1. Well, if you look at the little stair steps, 6% was credited, okay? The next year, there was no interest earned. We stayed the same. At age 64, we earned 4% interest. Guess what? We're still deferring. We made 8%. And you can see continue to see how that goes for that 5-6 years. Then when the kind of shaded area kicks on at age 67, that's when we're going to be we've turned on the income, okay? And this kind of bluish purple number that decreases across the screen, that's showing your cash value depleting over time. So at 67, we decided to turn on income, and then that first year we earned 4%. We got a 4% increase. We matched it. So you now have your client just generated a 4% increase in their income. And that continues all the way until that cash account hits zero. So in this example, from age 67 to age 81, the client had increasing income. That's 14 years of increasing income and keeping up with inflation. Once that cash of value hits zero, it levels out, and that highest income they ever got is their new income for the rest of their life. So it's really exciting to see what this product can do. And I've got tons of success stories over the last 3-4 years with this product. I had a client this year. Over the last 2 years, she ended up earning 16.16% interest, and she ended up getting, over a 2-year span, $189 a month increase in her income. Those are the kind of phone calls you like to take when they call and say, hey, I got too much money. And you get to tell them that, no, they have increasing income. She was very excited about that. So I think it's a very good story to tell. And when we've got a picture like this to help explain it to a client, I think they can understand it a little bit better. So with AIG, we do have several different indexing options. I think diversification is key. We'll talk about that here in a little bit as we go into some of the volatility control indexes. But as you can see on here, they've got a really nice portfolio of indexes. You know, you've got your AllianceBernstein, your AB All Market Index. That's global stocks, global bonds. We've got PIMCO. What's really unique about PIMCO is it is a total return index. So you're actually going to be earning dividends on the money in that index as well. Global stocks, it's global bonds. We're going to dive into that index here in a little bit. They've also got the Merrill Lynch Strategic Balance Index. This is a combination of stocks, bonds, and cash. This is going to be your conservative. You know, you're going to hit your singles, doubles, triples with, you know, this and the AllianceBernstein one, where PIMCO's more your home run hitter. You're not going to probably hit, it's either going to hit big or it's not going to hit at all. But having a good blend of all of them, I think, is really important. And we're going to look at diversification here in a little bit. They've also got options with the S&P and the Russell 2000. So you really have the options here to diversify within 5 different really competitive indexes and really, you know, lead to better results for your client. So anytime I'm showing illustrations, I really like to show the guaranteed, because this product is a guaranteed income rider. So in this example, what I did is I used $500,000, so $500,000. I said at age 65, and I'm going to show income turning on right away. So assuming no interest, I can guarantee, and you can see in the green column there, that $24,000 guaranteed, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So really great opportunity to have that. That's guaranteed for life no matter what happens. Now let's look with the really exciting stuff at the next slide. I will say that I did allocate this money between a couple different indexes. I used the Merrill Lynch 1-year and 2-year, and then I used the PIMCO and AllianceBernstein as well. So what I'm going to do now is, as we look at this illustration, you'll see that on the first line, if you look at the green column, the annual income for life still is $24,000, okay? Up top in the income details, you can see the payout percentage is 4.8. So 500,000 times 4.8 equals 24,000. Okay, well, let's look at year one. At year one, if you look at the credited interest rate, about 4 or 5 columns over, you'll see year one wasn't too great. We only earned 0.31. Now, remind you, I got 75% of the money in 2-year strategy, so we're going to look a little bit better every 2 years. But if you look at the income base, it went from 500,000 to 501,550. Well, if you do the math on your calculator, that's a 0.31 increase. So your client is going to get the exact same payout percentage, just on a larger amount of money, which generates the increasing income. If you look at the green column, it went from 24,000, only went up $74 that year. Okay, well, let's look at one of those years where we earned a little bit more interest. In year 2, we earned 11.81. Okay, well, we go over to the blue box and we see that the income base went from 501,550 up to $560,783. Okay, well, you multiply that times the same payout percentage, age 65 was 4.8. Our income now for life, no matter what happens, 26,918. That's a very nice increase in over a 1 year period. So that 26,918, if we never earned another penny in this policy, that would be the income for life. But as you can see, it continues, and because I diversified between several indexes, over the 16, 17 years of increasing income, there was only 1 year where they did not earn any interest. Yeah, did we earn 12 double digits every year? No, but we led to consistent increases. We helped the client keep up with inflation, and I think that's really important. So like I said, this week I was doing an illustration regarding a SPIA. And I was dealing with, I think the client was around 69. It was about a $500,000 case. And the AIG product actually provided a better guaranteed income right out the gate. And then on top of it, we got to tell the story of increasing income. It was a really, really great conversation. I mean, not only did we beat the SPIA, we provided a better income. The client got increasing income, and the agent got more comp. It was a win all the way across the board. So, anytime a client's asking for immediate income, don't be afraid to give me a call every time. I'd love to run the numbers. I'll be honest with you. If the SPIA wins, we'll talk about it. But then here's the way to position it. Even when we're looking at an income rider right out the gate, not always just with the SPIA. Are you willing to give up? It could be, I've done this before. Are you willing to give up $50 a month for the potential to have increasing income over the next 10 to 20 years? I haven't had a client tell me no yet. So it's really great. We've got tons of success stories just left and right on this product. And I think it's really important and a really strong story to tell. Here are the payout percentages for this product. As you can see, age 65, like we said on the illustration, it was 4.8. Now they do drop 0.5% if it is joint life. But again, really great opportunity with this product to provide a guaranteed income, keep control in their hands, and keep up with inflation. All right, so the last thing I wanted to talk about today were some of these volatility controlled indexes. As you've been in the industry anytime at all, you know that it used to just be caps, right? Well, we've moved into a new kind of world when it comes to indexes, and these volatility controlled indexes are actually doing pretty nicely. I mean, going to share some numbers of today, the annual returns on some of these, and see that we can actually outperform an annual point-to-point cap. I think right now in the industry, it's hard to get much more than 5% on a cap, and that's very hard to find. It's probably on a 14-year product. If we're looking at a 10-year product, you're looking at 3.5% to 4%. So really not exciting on that front. So these volatility control indexes all are compiled with different components. They all have different volatility levels. They all rebalance on different time frames. But again, a lot of these are what are producing those high returns that we've been seeing in several of the indexes. So the first one is this AIG one. We did just look at a little bit at AIG, but this is the MLSB strategy. It's the Merrill Lynch Strategic Balanced Index. This is it's more of your conservative index. It's a component of equity and fixed income. So you got the S&P without dividends as your equity component, and you've got your Merrill Lynch 10-year Treasury as your income component. They also have a cash component. So when things go outside of the 6% volatility that they're aiming for, they have the capability to slide over to cash. This does only rebalance every 6 months. So it's not a daily rebalancing, but they can slide into cash when it gets outside that volatility. One thing I will mention with this, I mentioned a client that had that 16% increase or return. That was out of the Merrill Lynch. I also saw a 19.25 this year out of the Merrill Lynch. The 1-year return as of today, right before I came to speak with you all, was over 8%. So 1-year return on a getting 8%, that's a pretty nice story to tell. Again, Merrill Lynch is going to be your consistent return, more conservative portfolio as far as indexing goes. You're going to see not as many peaks and valleys. It's more of a consistent uphill swing, which is really nice. All right, the next index we're going to look at is AIG's PIMCO strategy. Like I mentioned, this is a total return index. I think that's really important to talk about because you'll see when you look at rate sheets, when you have a total return index, often the spreads are a lot more steep. What goes into this index, though, is we've got U.S. small, mid, and large cap. They've got some emerging markets in there as well as some international. And I mentioned how important diversification is. And at the bottom of the screen, you can see the chart showing that not one component outperforms the others all the time. So I think it's good to, just like we diversify with different indexes, that's what some of these indexes are doing within them, and that's diversifying. PIMCO does have a 7.5 volatility mark, so that's what they're aiming for, and it rebalances on a daily basis. So they can get in there on a daily basis and move within the components that go into this. Again, total return, so you're earning dividends as well. Merrill Lynch is more your single, double, some triples. PIMCO is going to be your home run hitter. Now their more competitive strategy is their 2-year index. And I looked right before coming to present to you guys, and they're up over 16% on a 2-year strategy right now. So, or a 2-year time frame. So again, it's going to be a if you like baseball, home run hitter. A couple other indexes we're going to look at, we're going to take a peek at next are from Athene. Athene recently readjusted what indexes they've got. And one of the ones they just introduced is Apex. Apex is a really unique strategy because, technology is taken over, right? We all know that. And this is an IBM Watson strategy. And what they do with this index, how they allocate the money in this index, is they first look at the 1,000 largest U.S. companies, right? The 1,000 largest, okay? Then they rank those or score those companies based on financial health, management, and news and information. After that, they pick the 250 that scored the best, and that's where they allocate the money to. It does have a 6% volatility, and it rebalances on a monthly basis. So they rebalance that on a monthly basis, those 1,000 companies, largest companies. So again, I think it's a really unique strategy. There's a lot of things that technology can do, and I think we'll see some nice returns out of this as well. They've got both 1-year and 2-year options over at Athene on this. And right now it's sitting almost at 6% on a 1-year return. So again, being able to use volatility, and when it gets volatile, slide over in that cash actually produces more consistent returns over time. They also just introduced a new index with the NASDAQ. Just like we've talked about home runs and singles and doubles, Apex is going to be your more singles and doubles, triples, where NASDAQ's going to be your home run hitter. It's got a much higher volatility at 12.5%, and it rebalances on a daily basis. But the NASDAQ has been doing really well. They've got actually a fast convergence technology that really helps monitor things on a regular daily basis, knowing where to reallocate the money. So the return right now on a 1-year is over 16% on this NASDAQ index. So again, really great opportunity to see some of those home runs. Another index that's rather new to the industry is exclusive with EquiTrust, actually. It's their Barclays Focus 50. We're going to actually look at a couple Barclays strategies from a couple different companies here. But I think this Barclays Focus 50 is pretty unique because what it really does is it aims for those low volatility companies. So they're going to allocate the money. They're going to look at a broad basis, a bunch of companies, and then they're going to filter people out. They're going to go based on size and liquidity. Then they're going to go and see who's the least volatile. And out of the 500 that, US 500, they're going to put their money in the 50 least volatile indexes. And with that includes some of the names that we know best: Amazon, Costco, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Kellogg, Johnson and Johnson. So a lot of the indexes, or a lot of the companies that we all know very well. It's been doing really well so far. They've introduced it on both their single premium life products and their annuity products. So we're really excited to have this available. Again, it's 5.66 as of today on a 1-year return. So again, going to be consistent returns here. If I didn't mention, it does have a 5% volatility and rebalances on a monthly basis. Another one we're gonna look at from EquiTrust, and North American actually has this index as well. It's the S&P Mark V. It's been one of the, if I remember correctly, looking at the NAFTA report, it was in the top 5 indexes of 2020. What I like about the S&P Mark V is it's got some nice components. It's got your S&P, you've got, which is your equities, you got your gold, which is your commodities, and then you got your treasuries, which they are in the 10-year treasuries. So those are the 3 components that go into this. And again, they've got the cash component as well, so leading to consistent returns. I've seen a lot of double digits out of this over the last 2 years. As of today, 5.76 is where it's sitting at on a 1-year return. So again, with these volatility controlled indexes, we're looking at consistent returns. We're not always shooting for the 20% and 19s. We're looking for consistent 5 to 6% returns, 4 to 7 maybe returns when we're looking at all these different indexes. So the last index we're going to look at today as I wrap up is the Barclays Atlas 5, and I just love this index. It's managed on a daily basis. SILAC, which is formerly Equitable Life and Casualty, is the one who offers this index. And what I love about it is it's all over the world. You're going from US to Euro to German stocks and bonds, and we got Japan in there. We got emerging markets as well. What's unique about emerging markets, if you didn't know, is that includes China, which is the second largest market out there. So being able to spread out between all these different countries and being able to balance it on a daily basis, I think is really strong. One thing I love about an example I was given once was, we've got this lovely pandemic going on, right? And it started over across seas. And as it worked its way across to the United States, we were 100% or mostly allocated in U.S. Stocks at that point. And then as it came into the U.S., they pulled out of U.S. and started going into some of the others, emerging markets and some of the others, which actually kept a stable upward trend in their index. They didn't come down like a lot of others did. So that's really unique. The other really unique thing about this is there is no cash component. They use bonds on the backside. So they've got both 5 and 10-year bonds from U.S., German, and Japan that are going to be as the opposite component on this index. So it's a really unique one. Like I said, they're in it on a daily basis. As things happen, they have the opportunity to go in and reallocate on a regular basis. SILAC does have it as a 1-year point-to-point too, not a 2-year, and very competitive par rates as well. The Atlas, as of right now, is sitting at 6.47 as of today. So again, we're going for consistent returns here. It's going to have the opportunity to provide some triples and home runs, but really what they're doing and looking to do with this index is go for consistent returns, which is what we really want to see. So as I wrap up today, I really appreciate you taking time to watch my video on these concepts. Again, we looked at the Secure Act and stretch IRAs and non-qualified stretches. We talked about, bucket planning and how you've got flexibility within the Athene agility, looked at increasing income and the importance to add that to what you're offering your clients, and then dove into several of these indexes that are rather new to the industry. So I hope you got a lot out of the presentation. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to give me a call, shoot me an email. All my information's up on the screen now. Happy to help you with any case design. Have a great day.